Welcome to 10 Minutes with Tony Scott. Thank you for tuning into our show each week, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock on YHH. Today I'm wearing my pink shirt in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I would love to wear an association sweatshirt too as the season progresses. Hint, hint, if you'd like to give me one, I'd wear it on the show each week, or a week for that matter. Big Pumpkin, we're going to get into talking about the Big Pumpkin. We're watching the Pee Wee Single A scores around the state the last couple weeks. There's been some wild scores. Look forward to some really wild action up in Moorhead at the Pee Wee Single A level. We can't wait. It's going to be a blast to watch some of these teams at the Single A level. Pee Wee Double A division, so many teams in the Pumpkin have already played each other and beaten each other up pretty good. Choosing a champion will be very difficult. I got 6 teams that I like: Osseo Maple Grove, Rosemont, Chaska, Edina, Andover, and Minneapolis. I think one of those 6 teams is probably going to emerge as the champion of the Big Pumpkin. Choosing a champion is really difficult, and we're going to reveal one of my old tried and true methods today, and that's the old hat. Pick the name out of the hat trick. When you can't really pick one, you go into the hat and you pick them. So I've taken the 6 names here. I'm putting them into a hat. I'm going to jumble them up a bit. I'm going to choose a champion. And the champion of the Big Pumpkin is going to be Minneapolis. The Minneapolis Storm will come into the Big Pumpkin as our favorite, as the YHH favorite to win. They got a great blue line, got a couple great forwards, got some good goaltending. I think that they will stand the test of time and win the 16-team Pee Wee AA division. Now rankings. Special thanks to Shock Doctor, who will be sponsoring this year's Now Rankings. The Now Rankings page will be all decked out in Shock Doctor design. We're excited to have Shock Doctor on as a sponsor of YHH. And a special shout out to all the teams and team managers for entering their scores into this great database of teams, scores, and rankings. We really appreciate all of the effort that everyone puts into the Now Rankings database. Battle for the Blue Ox. Speaking of tournaments, next week we will announce our pairings for the Battle of the Blue Ox next Tuesday on the show. Several top teams from all over Minnesota. We have Brainerd, obviously the host. We have Bemidji, Moorhead from up north, and tons of teams from the metro area will be heading up to Brainerd. We're excited to take part in it. We'll have a banquet on Friday night where we will announce our top 10 players to watch in the tournament. And we'll have a youth rock band playing, and we'll be interviewing a player and coach as well. We have some new sponsors to the website. Gentry Academy will be a sponsor of the Now Scores, as well as the YHH Sportacular. The Lumberyard in Stillwater is a 3-on-3 rink and training facility. General Sports, a retailer of hockey equipment and all sporting goods in Edina, with 2 locations in Edina. And Aspire Beverage will be joining forces with us as well at all of our tournaments, and some advertising on the site. Speaking of Gentry Academy, they will be the title sponsor of the Sportacular. Well, so now the Sportacular will be called the Sportacular, presented by Gentry Academy. We'll release our 64 teams next week that have been accepted into this year's YHH Sportacular. The tournament will feature some great hockey and opening ceremonies where all teams will be headlined on Rink 3 at Bloomington Ice Garden. Pin trading, of course. Teams from out of state will be coming into the Sportacular. Teams from Colorado, Arizona, and Chicago, Illinois area. And actually Des Moines and Kansas City, excuse me. We'll have lots of teams from all over the U.S. coming to the Sportacular. We're really excited about it. Big news this week. Last week, we announced that on Twitter that Ryan Zulsdorf from Edina, the junior, will be foregoing his junior season and playing his USHL hockey season in Sioux City this year versus coming back after when the high school season started. And his classmate, Kiefer Bellows, who plays in Sioux Falls, will be returning to the Hornets. That's big news if you're a bubble varsity guy on D or forward for Edina, and even bigger news if you play Edina in conference or play them in regions, or will likely face them in state. So those are one big roster addition and subtraction for the Hornets this year. In other news, the University of Minnesota got a verbal commitment from Josh Maniscalco, a Philadelphia kid, Sunday to their 2017 recruiting class. A special player, great rush the puck defenseman, big tall kid, and plays with a lot of grit. He gets added to a list of great 2017s, including 2 Shattuck St. Mary's buddies of his, Brandon McManus and Scott Reedy, and then add in Bantam Player of the Year from YHH, Casey Middlestat and Eden Prairie. That makes an incredible foursome of sophomores in high school that'll be headed to Dinkytown in a few years. Watch out, there'll be a few more. We would suspect big names from that recruiting class headed to the U. Last weekend, we got a chance to see a whole bunch of hockey up in Centennial and White Bear Lake. A few players that stood out. Former Wiz Wyatt Player of the Year, Jack Olson, caught a lot of attention from the scouts, both USHL and college scouts got a chance to reach out and see Jack play at a high level this weekend for Lakeville South. Saw Carson Nagel play, goaltender from Osseo Maple Grove. I've seen him play twice in the last month. Carson's been a total standout for the Osseo Maple Grove team so far this season. Shut down actually Olson a few times, 3 times point blank on Sunday. And finally, Tristan Larson from Jefferson. He had 2 big goals for the Jags on Saturday night as they beat St. Michael Albertville in the Centennial preview. Lastly, our thumbs up. Nate Bortson, huge thumbs up to Nate. Borty is a great player, one of my favorite Bantams to watch. Great two-way player, goal scorer, but a great defender as well. He broke his collarbone on Saturday. Nate, hope you feel better. Hope to see you back as soon as possible on the rink. Hopefully sometime by January, Nate will be back for the Eastview Lightning. And finally, a huge thumbs up to so many of the people out there that have helped YHH become such a great resource to so many hockey fans in Minnesota. We really appreciate coaches, parents, players, all the people that have helped us keep the news alive for all of our hockey fans in Minnesota. Hope to see you around the rink. We're really excited for an exciting season here coming up. Have a good day.